Good morning, it's 11 o'clock and it is November 13th. I am joining you from Regina, Saskatchewan. My name is Kim McGillis and it is 11 Central Time. And for my friends back home in Ontario, it is noon right now. So hello everyone, I'm just gonna log in. Very excited today that I have a new collection to showcase. It is one of the collections that I've been wanting to create with for the longest time. So I can't wait to share with you. If you're watching me live, please say hello and where you're from. I would love to know. I don't know if you had great plans last night. I did. I had an amazing time. Watch Dancing with the Stars. I have to watch that show. I was also putting some final steps on the blog, on the tutorial. So things are coming along great. So let me just log on here. In the meantime, I would love to know where you're logging from. Anybody taking advantage of that beautiful sale of cardstock? And I'm planning on replenishing some of my blends because I use a couple of blends pretty often. And today we are going to be using the blends. So I'm making myself a list. I also have some cardstock that I need. So the sale is just coming right around the corner for a proper time. Okay, so here I am, just gonna add this here. Hello friend, how are you? I hope you had a nice evening last night, and if you were able to join me, I did post that card series that I did yesterday, and I was asking traditional or non-traditional. I love Paul's answer where he was sharing that, you know, it depends who you're gifting it to. Am I more traditional or non-traditional? I'm not too sure. I think I love both. Hi, Lucy. How are you? How's everything going in Ontario? I am planning on flying out, so I have a big collection. I'm not sure if I'm shipping my order back home in Ontario or shipping here. It all depends. Amy's saying, hi, Kim, happy birthday to your daughter. Yes, it is my daughter Lauren's 23rd birthday. She's my second daughter. I have 3 girls. So shout out to Lauren, wishing you a very happy birthday. Because my kids are all adults, I don't know, I was thinking maybe we could go like for a spa day. There's a place on the Quebec side called the Nordique, and I think you have to be a minimum of an adult age or 18 or so. So I'm planning, I just asked them if they were all available. It's hard because my youngest is still in college. My oldest has finished her master's. She's just waiting on final steps to start a new job at the hospital. And Lauren's a hairstylist, so which she needs to give her mom a little bit of TLC as soon as I get there, because I haven't gone to the hairdresser in a long time, which she's my hairdresser. So I wanted to ask my husband something. You know, my first language is French, and I don't know how to say this word. Like, is it Yuletide? I don't want to mess it up, but this is what we're working with today. And by the end of the week, I know we're Wednesday already, but we'll get to see a beautiful collection again once together. So things are coming along. I am going to tweak a little bit of things because my husband was saying last night, he's like, Kim, how did you do this? How were you able to stamp, do in-person class, post, work full-time as a nurse, take care of our home, take care of the landscaping? He says, now I get it. Now I get why you're tired. So it's kind of funny last night to talk about that, but I think I'm going to tweak my schedule a little bit differently because, you know, lives, they still take some time while you're doing a live and when you're setting up and preparing and pre-cutting. So that's kind of fun. So I will be using this stamp set today. I'm also going to be featuring the paper that $4 are given to a charity, and it's page 29, Sentimental Christmas. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to be using that paper. Our color combination today is very exciting. I don't know how it's going to pop up here because I'm in my studio, but it is lovely. And you know, you can always look at the pictures after or go to my blog, kimmcgillis.com. So I am going to tilt you down, and I had an aha moment yesterday. You know how I always stamp upside down? Well, in this craft room here, I have this big island. So I was like, why don't you just switch your entire little body on the opposite side and then you could stamp properly. Hi, Melanie, first time watching. I'm in Saskatchewan. Oh, well, hi. So I don't know if we're neighbors or anything. We're in Regina here. And I'm not too familiar with Saskatchewan. Like I'd have to Google wherever you're from, but hello. Amy's saying this is her favorite holiday collection. It is very vintage. And you want to know, you and I, Amy, agree. We both like vintage products. So you know that it's not the last time you're going to be seeing this collection, because I also love the vintage look. So, okay, so I am going to put the camera down, and then we're going to be looking at a couple of little things right here. So we'll see how this goes. I am going to tweak it and switch it around. Like I said, this is not my favorite mount. Archon and I do not get along together. I'm just going to change my stool on the opposite side, and then we can start crafting. Actually, it's not too bad, and it is very exciting for me to be able to stamp on the proper side. Wow, that's kind of fun that I had this moment of thinking about that. So we will be using this stamp set. I don't know if it's one that you love. Oh, Melanie's saying she's 2 hours away. But I do love it. It's one of the stamp sets that I was like, I need to get. It's on page 56 of your catalog. So I'm planning on using it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if it's not on your list, if you're ordering, you might want to get this one. Hi, Paul. Hope you are well. I'm also going to be using some dies from the Snow Scene collection. So this one is on page 32. So I will be using some dies today. I'm going to be using the snow globes, so you'll get to see those two pieces as well. And then the paper we've already discussed, so that's the one that I'm going to be blending with. Our color combination today is a beautiful color combination of, I find, warm colors. So we're using Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake, and Petal Pink. So if you don't want to use Petal Pink and you want a different color, then you may want to use a different color. But for clarification for today, I'm using all of these. You might want to just do the first three basics and then switch this color up as well. So up to you. And then the paper that I was sharing that I really, really love, which I want to play with the entire collection, is very pretty. It's beautiful tones of blues and red. And I just find it so, so pretty. So the paper that I'm aiming at today will be the one with the snowflakes. I'm gonna show you right here. So now you see where I'm going, right? So this is the one that I'll be crafting with. Have you played with this paper, like already created with it? It is stunning. We'll also need some little snowflakes as well. And I'm gonna say that this pack has gone a long way. I've crafted it with it so, so much. It's gone a long way. It's been fun to create with, and I've done a bunch of different projects. So for today's card, we're gonna be needing a piece of white cardstock. And this one again is like 4 1/4 by 11. Just gonna use my scoring tool. I'm gonna go halfway. And I wanna say, I know you love alternate projects. So I do have alternate projects, and by Friday, you'll get to see what the entire collection is all about. So I just scored it in half. And then that sentimental paper, designer series paper, is just a piece that is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and it's just gonna sit in right here. So I'm just gonna add some adhesive. You could take the adhesive that you want. And I'm just gonna set. Because it is such a busy designer series paper, there's so much going on here, I decided to just layer it flat, no dimensionals, nothing like that. And what I love about my green glue is I could still move it around if ever I don't like the look of it. So there you have it. You'll also need a piece of white designer series paper, and this one is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and it's gonna layer on top here. Now, if you're a little bit OCD, like sometimes I can be, you might want to just center it in the middle. Don't glue it right away, but I'm just mentioning this. Or if you want to show more of the snowflakes, then you might want to move it a little bit more like on the left. So it's up to you. And then you know that this is my go-to. I always need to use my piece from the dies. I'm adding this border, so here it is. And I just want to share that this is a piece that I use very commonly. I've already pre-cut, so it is listed on my blog with the instructions. And I went with a petal pink color, so it's gonna go right here on the side. Now, do you see? Let's see, I'm gonna bring this up. I am gonna cut it though. And it's just gonna tuck in right here. So just to add a little touch of softness. If you don't have these dies, no worries at all. Because what we can do is we could just rip the paper out. So sometimes I'll do this. I'll just shred and rip the paper out and add it on the side. You could also use pecan pie or crumb cake as an alternate. It's up to you, whichever one you like and that you want to use, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and snip this little part here. It almost fits perfectly, right? Looks good. And then you could take either your cutting tool or just cut it with your scissors. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna save this. I'm using every single piece, so keep that for another time. You'll need it if you do my alternate projects. So before I even adhere this, I'm just gonna leave it aside. I'm going to use more texture. I'm gonna use the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder, and I'm just gonna run this through so we can have some texture with our project, because I wanted to go all out. You could use any folder that you want. I just chose to use this one. You know that I'm limited of what I have here. A lot of my stuff is in Ontario, so could I have used a different one? Absolutely, but this is the one that I'm using now. Just gonna pull this off and then set it aside. So now I'm ready to just grab that nice little piece and then just do my border. So like I said, if you don't have it, no worries. You could just add plain layout, but I want that texture. And now at this point, I am gonna add some dimensionals. I do want it to pop up and stand out. I find that this color combination is just stunning. And I almost feel horrible to have to hide this beautiful designer series paper. So if you want to move it on the side, like I said, you can. So am I gonna go? This time I am gonna layer it just slightly on the left. The reason why is because I wanna show you the difference with the other. So when I was doing the banners, I did try it with this color. I just found that it didn't stand out as much. but I did keep this portion. And the reason I kept this portion is for two things, for my alternate projects, but also I thought that if I had this little piece from the snow scene dies, then I would have some cute little ripples. So I am going to show you something with this one later. So you might want to do the Pretty in Pink and the Pecan Pie just so I could show you both projects as well. So then I did my snow globe. It's going to be just with basic white. So love this collection. So I'm going to grab this piece and this piece. We're just going to cut them together. And I've been working and creating lots of them, so it's been lots of fun. So let me grab the other piece. Just gonna die cut that. So again, I'm grabbing this piece. I'm gonna set this aside because we don't need it anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab some white here, just some white cardstock. I'm gonna do the other piece at the same time, so I think after that we're gonna be all done. Now I shared with you with the sale going on, the blends are currently on sale. So my goal today is to go and use every single blend, just color a little to see if I'm at the end of the blends of themselves, just because it's my originals from when I started. So this is the snow globe that's going to be coming here, and you see this beautiful little ripple. It's just going to go at the bottom here. And it's just, again, to add some more texture. I'm going to use my scraps, and I'm going to take early espresso, and I didn't want to add black, so I did go with early espresso, and it works. Like, it did not bleed or anything. And to start with for today, I'm going to be using this one. Why? Because it has that cute little snowman, and it was part of my favorite, and I just needed it too. An alternate way for you, if you don't want to do the snow globe, what you can do is just do like a nice beautiful square. Or if ever, you could just punch out some images. Like, you don't need to do the snow globe. I just chose to because when I saw this stamp set, I knew that I wanted that. So once again, if you do order for the $60 in my online store, you'll get to receive the projects that I'm showing today and for the rest of the week. So I'm using the light petal pink. And my suggestion to you is, because it is such a delicate stamp, that you might want to use this fine tip instead of the other. So did I use a specific technique to color my image? Absolutely not. Like, I just went with how I felt. You don't need to be a perfectionist of how you color. When you're coloring with blends, they're alcohol based, they dry very easily, and you could just color how you want. So if you're a beginner, there's no worries at all. And I'm just gonna add some right in here. So are you a big fan of blends? And then I'm just going with the darker blend just on the lines right here. And I'm just adding some underneath as well. So I don't know if you get to see, but there's just a slight contrast right here. And then you could always go back with the lighter blend and then just blend it in. And once it dries, it is gorgeous. So I'm continuing with my series of using the same type of colors as my card. And this time I'm using Pecan Pie. And I'm just highlighting specific parts. I'm not going to color the snow, but I'll do the rest. And I'm going to do that little door as well, And you see that I'm live, going very fast, not really paying attention. Once it dries, it will lighten out. So, and then you might want to just do a little bit more contrast here. Now I'm going to go with crumb cake, a very light crumb cake. And I'm going to do my, this side is the thick one. We'll go with the fine one. I'm just going to do my steps. But now I'm also going to color this house. So you're starting to see that there's a theme going. And really, when I joined Stampin' Up, that was the main reason. I just love that everything coordinates. And I'm just going to go around here. And I'm going to do the top of the house as well. If ever you own this stamp set, please give me a little shout out. I want to know, a little thumbs up, a little happy, or you could even comment. I'd love to know who has that. I'm hoping that it gets extended, but I feel like, you know, once it retires, I might retire for good. Okay, and then we're gonna go now with the dark crumb cake. Once again, I don't know why it's like a almost time that I'll always go with the wider tip instead of the fine tip. And I'm just doing some contrast right here. You could also add some wink of Stella if you wanted to on the snow part. That's up to you. You could put some lights in your house, whichever. But it's just so simple, delicate, and pretty. And I'm gonna go back with the light. And I'm just gonna do these little branches. Look how pretty this is. So now, some of my friends might not love me, but I'm going and I'm fussy cutting. So an alternate way for you, if you don't like fussy cutting, raise your hand if you love fussy cutting. Comment if you do. I would love to know. I love it. It's very relaxing. But if you don't like it, you could just stamp directly on there. I want to pop it up. I want to add a little bit of element of wow. So that is why I'm doing the fussy cutting. I see Tammy. I don't know if you're still there, but I know you're watching slightly. I know she loves fussy cutting. I'm not sure if there's anybody else here that loves it. Okay, I'm done. It didn't really take a lot of time, right? So now I'm going to take this little baby block and I'm going to select that little tree right here. And this one is this image right here. Now, while I was working on my PDF last night for the previous week, I came to a conclusion that when I do some alternate projects, it comes out that there's 9 cards. So you will see that Fresh Frisia non-traditional collection with 9 cards and not the 4 cards, because I always like to add. So here we have it. I'm just adding that little house right there. Now, this stamp set does not have any greetings, and because I was using the collection with the snow scenes, well, I decided to use a wish that was part of this collection, so then at least we could use it a little more than usual. And then I'm gonna just close the lid for early espresso, and now we're gonna switch to crumb cake. I haven't used crumb cake in a while, and crumb cake is one of my used to be one of my favorites, but now I do love basic beige. It's like I've been using a lot of basic beige lately, but it does turn beautifully. Like, it blends beautifully with the other colors as well. By the way, if ever you're watching the replay, please say replay. I would love to know. And if you are sharing, I do have a draw going for last week. I was like, because Monday was Remembrance Day, we did do it. So I will be doing the draw tomorrow for everybody that shared my live from last week. If you're sharing this week, what my offering is product when it's Canadian and then a PDF if ever you're in another country, because I can't give product if you're in another country. So, and then I'm just gonna pop it with a dimensional. So I just did very quickly some cutting around, and I'm just gonna layer it here. So this is turning out great. So now I'm ready to assemble. I'm just gonna grab this part. The base of the snow globe is staying directly on our white piece of embossed cardstock, just like this. This portion will be popped up. So I'm just gonna add some dimensionals, not going overly crazy. So I have a question to you. If you don't like petal pink, what would be the alternate color that you would use to do or blend for this card? Now I'm gonna use my fine tip glue, and one tip for you is whenever you're not using it, recap, because this little fine tip could dry up very quickly. So I've learned the hard way. You know, when you leave your craft room and then you don't do, you don't put your craft space back to normal or back to clean mode. So, and then I get back and then the tube was blocked. So you don't want to do that. And for my sake, I just decided to add that little tiny drop on my snowflakes before I flip it over. Could you do the opposite where you just put a drop here? Absolutely. It's up to you. Now my eye doctor says I don't need glasses for close-up, but sometimes I do feel like I do need them. So it is kind of a touchy thing. Got it. Takes a couple of seconds here. And now I'm just gonna grab this piece. It's gonna go right here, because I like to go an odd number. I'm gonna put a larger snowflake. You could use my favorite, the iridescence, as well. You don't need to do snowflakes, but I chose to do so. Now, we all know that there's online exclusive, and this ribbon is part of the, it's a trim actually, is part of the online exclusive. You want to get your hands on it. It is stunning. It falls very well. I'm doing a double loop, so one loop, two loops. So it's like number 8, another one, and another one. And then I'm just tying like a shoelace, but I'll just snip now. And then I just redo it once again. So 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops, and the 4th on the opposite. Then you bring it around and you tuck it in right here. Double loops makes it a little more like as a standout on your card. So love it. It has a shine to it. It is just simply stunning on its own. Love it. And then I'm just gonna add this portion right here. And I am gonna move the card forward so you get to see the look. Now, very simple, but still darling. And then here you have it. So I just love it. Like I said, you don't need to stand these out. For my inside, I just decorated as well, and I did the little pop-out house, added the same designer's series paper here, and then just did this look. Now, you know where I'm going with this, right? Snow globe. Well, there's also a different version where you could do, and this is where my alternate comes. I made this gift tag, or it could also be, it could be a gift tag, or it could be an ornament, but this version where it's like a shaker card, like a shaker part. So could we do the snow globe here? Absolutely, we could add it to a card, but they are perfect for tag giving and also to make it shaker. I don't know if you like to make the shakers. The only difference is I'm using a window sheet and a top-up level. So I just found that that was a fun thing to do. And then I also made a mini card. And remember at the beginning of our live, I said, please keep some of your pieces left over. So I did add the border right here at the bottom from this piece that we had used. So by the end of this week, you'll see I'll have a full collection with lots of beautiful things made with these. So I want to hear from you. Do you love this collection? Do you find this combo very pretty? Let me just pop this up so you get to see a little bit more. I just fell in love with it. Love the color combination. It is a card set that you'll love, especially once you see by the end of the week how we are going to continue building on it. I just feel that is very, very pretty and a fun collection to play with. And in fact, I don't often blend in different collections, but I did have this Snowy Wonder for another card class. And then I just thought that the greetings would work along. And I also used the Peaceful Season wishes just to add this little element here, our home to yours. I did cut one portion out, but then this is just how I wanted it to blend together. So the stamp set on its own has a lot of different images. There's 4. I went with my favorite first, but you'll get to see throughout the week other images, other ways of stamping it. And yeah, so I'm hoping, I don't see any comments. I'm hoping you're liking this collection. If so, I would really love to hear from you. And yeah, so very quickly, a very quick live today, I think. So take advantage, I'm just gonna bring you up. Take advantage of the sale going on right now. We know that, oh, now I'm seeing comments on that one, not seeing comments on the other one, so I might have to answer you after. But take advantage of the sale that's going on very strong right now, because sometimes you can run out. The sale is part of the new catalog, annual catalog. So stamp sets and dies. If you're a demonstrator, you know you get that extra discount. And I'm just gonna try to grab you back just so I could answer some of your questions. And then also like cardstock, I like to replenish on those. I also love to replenish on my blends and maybe a couple of stamp sets. So Amy's saying, so pretty, love the color combination. Paul instead said, instead of petal pink, he would use pale papaya. Love that idea. Or possibly bubble bat. Very good. Natalie saying hello from Orlando Airport. Oh, she's at the airport. And then Amy and Paul, I think, love fussy cutting. So shout out to all the fussy cutting lovers. Tammy's loving the project, so that is amazing. And then Dawn as well loves it. So Tammy's saying, you always make them so nice that we want the sets after. Love all the projects and ornaments. So I hope you have that collection, Tammy. I'm not too sure if it's going to stay or not, but it's worth playing with. I just find that it's very beautiful, and the fact that we're using other designer series papers makes it fun as well. So I'm trying to utilize as much as I have, and I know that I really want to go into the online exclusive new stuff, which is coming soon, and I will start creating with it. But right now I just feel like I'm not done with my Christmas stuff. So Paul is saying there's so many fun things that's happening today at Stampin' Up. Absolutely. And for the artisan design team, I'm also been training every day for things like I've done it ways years ago, but some things have changed. So every morning at exactly this time, there's more training for me to prepare for what's coming. They are sending me boxes with the artisan design team, and for me to play with new collections and design with. So I can't wait to get those boxes, and I was told that I'm allowed to share with you. So as soon as the boxes come over, I'll be able to show you products, show you designer series paper, and that's going to be a fun thing as well. So I can't wait to share for that. Also, I posted, I think on my team page, that there are 2 kits that are brand new. They're perfect for gift giving. I love the pencils that they come with and the things that you could do and give as well. So have a nice day. I can't wait to continue sharing and building on this collection tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, same time, 11 Central Time. Bye-bye.